everyone, it's Louise with louisemckayart, and I'm here today on a commission piece for a fellow artist who is remodeling their kitchen. And I was quite honored when they reached out to me to create their personal clock. And yeah, they're remodeling their kitchen. I'll probably flash up what the progress is in the kitchen so you understand the color palette I've got here. She kind of gave me a lot of free will. And that's the best thing when you're creating something on commission. What I always like to do is ask somebody for a photo of what you're trying to get me to make, what space you're trying to get me to make this creation for. One of the things that she did specifically mention, she called out the gold and the copper and black. And based on the floor, cabinets with this color, some of the appliances, gold is always good for everything. And there's gold in the floor as well as copper, if you look closely at the tile. And then, of course, the tile is gray. So she wanted a charcoal parchment type of thing. So this is what we came up with. This is what I came up with. I took her input, came up with this, did some trials, sent it to her, and she's like, yes, which is always the answer I want to go with. You got to take your emotion out of it, because if this is going to somebody, they are the customer, they get to pick everything, and they are the final say. Now, there was only one time where I really had a problem with a person who gave me a color palette. They actually gave me the color palette. I sent them the color palette, and then I had to adjust it 3 different times to get to what they were looking for. Yeah, and you know what? That was a case where I wasn't matching to a room. I was just matching to what they said they wanted. So I think the lesson is you ask for a photo and say, what am I matching to? And you go to that. So let's get started. So I've got my Glidden 6011N, and I hope I have enough to get through this. I sure am running through paint pretty quickly anymore. Oh, and just so you know, what I have here, I'm not going to lift it up. I've got a cradle board. A cradle board of sorts. The side I don't think is real wood. I'm not sure. This is the idea. So I taped so that will be revealed once I undo the tape after resin. Now this is 16-inch. Just for your reference, this is 12 inches. So let's get started. I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to have to use the hairdryer because my range of my lungs are only going to get to about 8 inches. So this is 12 inches, almost 12 inches, and it's going to be a little too far for me to go. And I am a little bit nervous on this. I don't know why I switched directions. It always messes me up. I am a little bit nervous. You know, I guess it's like stage fright before a performance, even though I've never been a performer. I'm gonna just stretch this out a little bit so the paint is already running where it needs to go. Okay, we'll go with that. That's good. Okay, so first color, I'm just gonna show you the colors. And here they are. And it's easier to just show you the colors than it is to call them, to try to just say what they are. I think showing you the actual container is better than, you know, writing it down in the description or just me saying what it is, because then it could get misinterpreted. So I'm going to put a lot of this because I want this gray to show up a lot. That's probably enough for that. Next color is a combo. It's still a little bubblicious in its combination of these two colors. And I do have a little titanium white in there to brighten it up a little bit more to get to this color. And it's still a little bubbly. I don't know why this color is acting a little differently than the others. It's just weird. All of these are mixed with my pouring medium, which is Valspar 833124 and MinWax semi-gloss. A lot of good color there. Okay, next color is my usual combo here. This is the combination. We are not going to be afraid of color on this. And this is bigger than the coasters that I made. Oh, and I made 2 Lazy Susans because I decided this is really good color combination. How come I never saw this one before? And the trick is with the cell activator. That's going to be the fun part. Next color is a straight color. This is it. This was the color she specifically asked for. Not necessarily this brand. We're gonna really have this represent, hopefully. And the last color I'm going to be a little sparing with because I don't want it to overwhelm. And this color combination can tend to overwhelm. I am slipping off center. Thought I had this pretty leveled up. But you know, being level over here is not nearly as important as being level on the drying rack. You need to be level over there. Okay, just a little representation of this. Then I'm going to put down cell activator. Nowhere near as much as I normally do. Now, my cell activator. This is American Floetrol cell activator, Oxide black, and then I have my red. The red is the big surprise. The red is this guy. This is with this and Australian Floetrol. So this is Australian Floetrol. This one is American Floetrol. You know what? You can mix Floetrols. It's not going to kill anything. It all works the same. You know, unless there's some subtleties I'm missing. All right, here we go. Black down first. Got my hair dryer. I'll be putting this on high and cool. This is the little Berta 1000 water off Amazon. We're going to get everything over here. I'm going to link above my American Floetrol cell activator recipe, video 141, if you want to check that out. Good amount of that down. And then we're going to put a good amount of this red down. This was another color she was looking for. And I didn't want to put red in the creation because I thought it would take over the piece, so that's when I thought maybe cell activator was the answer. All right, I'm going to let it sit for a second. I'm going to blow it out. And I'm going to get on the step stool too. Okay, here we go. And I know it's hard to see what I'm doing here, but all I'm doing is blowing straight down into that cell activator to get it to form up in as much of a circle as possible with a little divot in the middle and a little ridge where as you blow out, the cell activator runs into the paint. And then once I have that little ridge, I aim my blow right at it and start blowing out the cell activator out over the paints. Really trying to get that to spread out. It's not helping. It's not going. So once I have it sort of opened up, I use my hairdryer kind of as a pusher, a wave pusher, to just blow that paint out in all directions until I get it where I think I've got a good starting point to start spinning this out. Notice the angle that I'm using to get that cell activator to kind of be at the back of the wave as it blows out all the paint. Oh boy, I got a lot of red. Oh, I might have gone too dark. Okay. All right, well, we'll see how this goes. Now, with the Arteza cell activator, it's a little slow to detonate. So you see it's a big red patch right now. It's always a little slow to come back. I'm going to speed through this part. So a little funny story about the red cell activator. I accidentally discovered Arteza's gold cell activator on a previous creation, so I thought, why not use red? The Bordeaux red is so pretty. Why not try that as a cell activator? And it really does work. It just is a little slow to come back. You just have to have faith that it's going to come back, and you'll see how fast this comes back. And right here, all I'm doing is pushing the pillow paint to the edge, so that when I get ready to spin, my paint knows exactly where it needs to go. And I'll be back in a second. See how it's coming back? Okay. Let's let this thing fly. Nice and easy. A little off kilter. Let's keep it going. So while this is spinning, I invite you to check out my description where I have links to some of the products I use and also links to some of the more fundamental and educational type tutorials you might find useful. I'm going to fast forward through some of the spinning or cut out some of it altogether. Once you have the composition where you want it, then it's just a matter of getting it to spread in all directions as equally as possible to reach the edge. Once I start reaching the edge, I'm going to start making sure the pillow is getting over the edge all over the place. So just like I do with my Lazy Susans, I kind of baby these as I start getting it to spread and stretch out to the edges. And then once I have it touching the edge and going over the edge, then I go full bore, spin this thing out. Tilt it a little bit to shift the weight some. Oh, I hope this is not too dark. We'll let this spread out, hopefully. Hopefully it'll spread out nicely. Center is a nice focal point. Never done a clock on a cradle board before. Here I'm just making sure that the edges are covered up, and I'm going to go and fast forward through this. I need that gray to spread out more. I need to get this a little bit on the grayer side, I think. I need the middle to come back too, so I'm going to blow in the middle. The cell activator running through there is unbelievable. It's like a vein of life. You know, and actually the center is going to have the clock mechanism where it attaches. So some of that red's going to go away. It's going to be disappeared underneath where the clock hands will be connected to. Oh, God. This is beautiful. I'm going to cover the whole thing. I'm not going to leave any negative space. Just got to get that off. Pop. I hope she's going to like it. I hope she's going to like it. Oh, beautiful. Getting the white spots out. Any little blemish that you don't like, you can always get it out after the fact. You can't. Any white blemish you don't like, or any blemish, you can always touch it up. Always have a little extra paint for after it's dry. You give a little, just give a little touch up. All right, well, this is, I think it's done. Let me dip the middle. I got that much paint. So I am really, I think we're done. Well, one more spin. I'm going to clean up the side under where the tape is, or on where the tape is. And then I think we're going to call this finished. So I'm going to do that off camera. But basically, I'm just going to clean up the sides. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to clean up the sides. I'm just going to clean up the bottom like always. We'll just leave the sides as is. I don't need to worry about the sides because the resin's going to come down there anyway. So just clean up the bottom. And I do a comb over on these. I don't care. Because nobody's going to see it. The tape's going to pull everything off the bottom. That red central focal point is really pretty. Well, I hope she likes this. So here we are. I'm really happy with that. I hope she will be too. I'm going to share a close-up of the wet result that I shared with the client. It's Louise, and I just finished blowing out this bloom on the 12-inch cradle board, and here we are. So just as a reminder, this was the inspiration, the number 3, and this did come out a little darker than what I was intending, but I think these colors are gonna pop and scream in your kitchen. We got the gray represented, we got the copper, we got red, and we got the black and gold. I mean, everything is right here. Let me try to zoom in on some of this. We got beautiful cells, some lovely lacing and blending. Sections where the red is just showing through, really cool. I'll show you. I can't get too close because the camera doesn't see it that well. Here's some nice red in there, cell activator that's peeking through. And right in here, it's like a vein of red. It's so cool. I hope you like this. And let me know, please, what you think. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. So that was the real video I sent. Here is the wet results, and then I'm going to show you the resin results. And like a goofball, I didn't get a real good video of the final finished results. So I'm just going to show you what I do have. This is the resin result before the clock mechanism, and then this is after. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you're new, please join me by subscribing. And if everyone can leave a comment, a thumbs up, and a hype, I'd really appreciate it. And if you're interested, I do have a full 1-hour private tutorial that shows everything you need to know about clock making. And be on the lookout. This Friday, I have one of my first ornaments orders I'll be sharing with you guys, and it's really cool. So that's all I have for now, everybody. Take care. Till next time.